And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to day number 5 of the playoffs of Masters Coliseum 7. I'm a host, ZvP, and with me I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat and by these amazing players as well. Welcome everyone to the beginning of the end. Later on tonight we have the grand finals of Masters Coliseum, and these matches here, the semifinals, the lower bracket semifinals, and the lower bracket finals, they were actually broadcasted yesterday. And we were, of course, live on this channel. We were casting, but we were casting something very different. We were casting the House Galactic Battle, and that was a 14-hour cast. It was a 14-hour cast, and I got 5 hours of sleep, and bam, we're here casting even more. And here we go. We have herO for CranKy's Gaming in the bottom right, and at the top left we have Dark, our South Korean Zerg player. Whew. So yeah, so we just barely wrapped up the House Galactic Battle. We just finished casting earlier today, got a couple of hours of sleep, and bam, we are back catching up with what did occur yesterday in Masters Coliseum. No spoilers in the chat. Again, these are less than 24-hour-old games, but we are here to bear witness. And again, in 4 hours time from this message, we're going to be live with the grand finals of Masters Coliseum 7 as well. So we end it all here tonight. It's been a long time running. It's been a couple of weeks since we've started this tournament, from the qualifiers into the group stage into the playoff bracket as well, and we are down to 4 players. We have herO, we have Dark, we have Rainer waiting for the winner of this series, and we have Cyril waiting for the winner of that series in the grand finals. So here we go. We have 4 players left here. If you're a fan of Terran, I do apologize. No Terrans left in the tournament here. Maru had a deep run. Maru looked terrifying, but Maru could not make it through the bracket. Could not make it through Dark whatsoever. So Maru has fallen, and now only Zergs and Protoss do remain. And here we go. We do have a gasless opener, a delayed gas opener here from Dark. Here we go. And again, this is something that Dark does enjoy doing here, specifically on Golden Aura, as we load into this best of 7, by the way, best of 7 lower bracket semifinals match between herO and Dark. They face off many times throughout the week. They face off in events like KSL, ESL Open Cup Asia, ESL Open Cup Americas, Kung Fu Cup, and even clearly these online major events as well. Dark and herO, they have so much history, so much practice against each other. They face off week after week, time and time again. They cannot avoid each other. Wouldn't be an online tournament without herO and Dark facing off at least once. At least once. So I am ready for it. And for now, we're going to be delving into this. We do see Dark again going for an economic opener. I say that a greedy opener because Dark did delay his gases quite a bit, did prioritize, droning, opening up with queens. It's something you can do on Golden Aura because of how defensive it is. You can defend quite well with purely queens, and you can afford to delay your link speed here by quite a bit, specifically on this map. Again, Dark, he's quite fond of this in a lot of matchups, including ZvP. Behind this, we have herO opening up with a Stargate. Important that we point that out because herO, he is one to really mix up his openers. He is one to really be diverse when it comes to his play against Zerg players. He can be very unpredictable, so we'll see if Dark can keep up with the shenanigans of herO. We'll see if he can keep up, as we do have it up shading out across the map. Going to be threading a shade towards the main base, getting a read on the drone count, the gases, any additional tech from his opponent. Is going to be an Oracle opener here out of herO. Is going to confirm the 3rd base location, and the Oracle is soon going to hit the field and zoom across the map. This should be a triple Oracle opener out of herO, and this should lead into a 3rd base as well. Ooh, as I say that, interesting variation. It's going to be a single Oracle into a Void Ray. So with this, it does mean that detection or vision from Dark will be stripped away from him. The Void Ray, the goal is to shut down Overlords, but there's no big prioritization on it. Regardless, Overlords are going to be hunted down, and Dark is going to have a hard time figuring out what comes next. Meanwhile, the Oracle dives into the main base. Oh, there is no Spore. Queen slightly out of position, and 3 drones go down. The Oracle does sustain some hull damage, but we do manage to escape, and we do manage to regenerate those shields. Meanwhile, the Void Ray has arrived, and again, as we mentioned, the goal here of the Void Ray is to hunt down as many Overlords as possible and keep the transition hidden here from Dark. As an F shade into the mineral line. So far, 1 drone going to be targeted down. We're going to get 2. We could maybe even get 3 just barely towards the end. 3 workers, not quite 4 do go down. So far 6 in total. Pretty good damage here, 6 workers for 2 adepts because the Oracle is still alive in the top left hand corner of the map. So good trades here overall. Void Ray hunts down some of these overlords. We get 1 across the map, soon to be 2, as the overlord back here, back at home, is being swatted away by those stalkers. We're going for another Void Ray here, sorry, for another overlord towards the left hand side. Can we get it? Up, the transfuse! No transfuse available, and a second overlord goes down, soon to be 3. Good trades here, big supply block on Dark. Meanwhile, we have our transition. Forge and Twilight Council should be +1 in Blink. Looks like a standard deviation, but no, my apologies. It's going to be +1 in Charge instead. We haven't taken our second gas geyser at the natural base, so being very gas light, focusing a lot more on Delta. That is a gateway explosion. That is, I believe, 5 gates in total for the time being. Oh, did I say 5? That's going to be 6. That's going to be 7 gateways, and that is going to be 8, or soon to be 8 gates in total. My oh my, that's going to be a lot of charge also available here for herO. And again, Dark has no idea what's going to be going on. Also, I apologize. I assumed it was going to be 3 dead overlords, but it looks like we found an extra one. 4 overlords went down to the Void Ray in conjunction with the stalkers as well. Ay. Pretty hefty supply block there for Dark that he did eventually break free of, and we're getting ready for the eventual push. You can see that we are banking up zealots in the main base. We're banking those zealots up, going for warp in after warp in with our massive amount of gateways, and this is going to hit like a truck. And again, Dark, he's skipping roaches. Dark, he's skipping roaches. He's going for Ling Hydra of all things. Ling Hydra has a lot of DPS, but as you can imagine, very fragile. Very fragile army composition, and it is not ideal against a swarm of zealots. The swarm toss is soon to be upon us. We have another. We had another supply block there from Dark. He's focusing on Ling production. The Hydrogen still not quite done. No Banelings, no roaches, and the zealots have been revealed. The zealots have been revealed here, and Dark in a panic is trying to amass his army. He's got his queens rotating over his lings. We have 9 hydras in production. We need time. Spine crawlers on the way as well. We need everything we can here to hold on. And the zealots have arrived. So far, good positioning here from these queens. We're going to be able to reduce the surface area, but alas, queens are still falling left and right. The zealots are making their way through as well. Decent stasis trap here, covering some of those lings, but not ideal. But here we go. The zealot run by the zealot reinforcements. They just keep on coming, and we will eventually break through on top of the queens into the mineral line. The hydras, they do arrive, but they arrive just in time to be surrounded by these zealots as well. Again, hydras, they are just not ideal in this situation. 8 workers go down alongside every single queen. 8 queens have fallen. Spine crawler, sorry, 8 queens. I think it's around 8 queens actually have fallen. 8 drones as well. We are still amassing more zealots. And again, Ling Hydra. We do need more support here. We need Banelings to help deal with this. As here come the zealots pushing once again up the ramp. The spine crawler has repositioned, and boys, they're being pulled. They have to be. Drones this time, they don't go down, but we did deny a lot of mining time there as the lings have been cleaned up. We do see though heroes transitioning out of pure zealots into gateways, into stalkers more than anything. So still a swarm toss style, still a mass gateway composition. The pressure is just unrelenting here from herO, and he's been able to stifle the economy. herO has a higher worker count. He has a better economy than Dark at the moment, and likewise his army composition is terrifying. Now when it comes to Dark, Ling Hydra, we do need to get out of this. We do need to try to tech up a little bit further. We have the infestation on the way. The ideal army here for Dark is going to be lurkers. He needs time to get into lurkers. Ling Hydra could also do well against pure stalker, but again, it's not pure stalker. We have zealots as well, and we'll see if herO can break through. As he rotates over, he gets eyes on the 4th base. Stalkers have arrived. So far, we're going to be trading against the hydras, and this is going to be a better trade for Dark. But as he does trade better against the stalkers, zealots, they get on top of the hydras on the left-hand side, and the zealots are wreaking havoc here. We get 5 more drones. The stalkers, they come in from the right-hand side. We have a bit of a sandwich here going on. Zealots on one end, we have stalkers on the other, and we are focusing down so many of these drones. The hydras will live, but the workers won't. 17 drones do go down so far. Good trades here from herO, just pulling Dark apart left and right. We do have more hydras amassing, but so will the stalkers. And again, the blinks so far have been on point, losing the bare minimum of stalkers. Honestly, I'd be afraid to look at the units lost tab. I'd be afraid to check and see and confirm that no stalkers have died this game. That sounds like a terrifying prospect. And so far, again, good blinks here. More Hydras going down. Expensive losses for Dark. A Zealot counterattack being pulled towards the left-hand side. We do have a couple of links here to buffer. A good positioning here in the middle line as well. Looks like the Zealots should eventually be dealt with. And yeah, they have to back off. SimCity a little bit too good for Dark, as he's still amassing more Hydras, more Lings. Meanwhile, we're transitioning into triple Robo production. We have the Bay and the Templar Archives. We're working towards some splash damage. Whether it's Storm, whether it's Colossus, whether it's all of above, it's all on the horizon here for herO. And Dark is still working on his Hive tech, still working on eventually Lurker tech. I believe the infestation bit is done. I'm not too sure about the Hive timing. Oh, I love the surround here from Dark. It's coming in from the right hand side. Does come in for a big flank, and he will pick up a couple of these Stalkers. A couple, I do mean one, but that's a good move nonetheless. Meanwhile, there we go. The Hive just now started, but this feels like a bit of a delayed Hive here. Again, because of the delayed economy, Dark is on 59 workers. We have Stalkers once again coming in from the right hand side. Zealots are going to be cleaned up. Zealots mainly trading with Lings more than anything, so not the best trade there from herO. Does throw away a wave of Zealots. Behind this, we're making 3 Colossi at a time. Jesus, that's a lot of Colossi. Ay, ay, ay. 3 Colossi at a time. We have Extend Thermal Lance. We have +3 attack alongside +2 armor. And there it is, the cherry on top, Storm. All things splash damage, all things anti-light units on the way here for herO. He's already achieved so much with his Swarm Toss style with just mass Zealots and mass Stalkers, but he recognizes that recently he hasn't been dealing as much damage. He has been struggling to trade against the Ling Hydra, as the Hydra count has been amassing, and Dark has been in the midst of stabilizing. This is all true, but we're still not ready for splash damage. Even though Dark has been able to hold on against the Stalkers and the Zealots, the Storms and the Colossus are a different story. Oh, I do like this though. So instead of working towards the Lurkers first, which, I mean, ideally we do have Hydra, Lurker, Viper, but, you know, we have limited economy right now. Dark has to pick and choose what he wants and what he can work with. Vipers. We have 4 Vipers on the way, but they're still in production, and not just that, after they're produced, they need time to gather up energy, and before the Vipers even pop out, here come the Colossus. 3 Colossi being built at a time. We have them herO working towards a Skytoss transition. Fleet Beacon is on the way. This southern base is going to be denied, and we're pushing towards the 3rd. Hydras though are amassing. We're trying to set up a surround. We're trying to come in from behind, but we get eyes on this. We have the Colossi rotating over towards the right. Storm is done, by the way, and I believe we have 3 Storms in total. We're holding on to them. We're just keeping them in the chamber. Here come the Vipers for some yoinks, but the base goes down. The 3rd base will fall. We rotate over towards the 4th. Again, 1 angle of attack, but we have 4 Vipers available. We can yoink every single Colossus. We have to be oh so careful. Big Storm here on the Hydras. Blinding Clouds being thrown down. Every Colossus is going to be yoinked, but we still have another Storm. High Templar were focused down, and one of the Colossus does survive here, as we're going for a big Zealot Warpin behind this army. And again, Dark, he's been struggling to hold on ever since the first push. The first Zealot run by, the first Zealot attack did catch him off guard. And ever since then, that's a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. And Dark has been on the back foot. He cleans up the army on the left-hand side, but the Zealots, they come in from the right. It started with the charge lots, and it's going to be ending here with the charge lots, as we have killed the 3rd and the 4th, and Dark is down to 2 bases. He's down to only 2 bases again. If you remember at the start of the game, Dark was being a little bit greedy. I say greedy. It was going Ling Hydra. Going Ling Hydra. No Banelings, no Roaches. GG gets called. And herO will take game number 1. GG again. Dark going for a risky maneuver, taking up and going Ling Hydra. Ling Hydra isn't a bad composition, but it's very specialized. It is a very specialized composition, ideal against +1 Blink Stalkers, not against charge lots. And as we saw, those charge lots, they had their way with Dark at the start of the game. They really set herO up for success. A big reason for this, remember, was because of the Void Ray. The Void Ray did a great job at supply blocking Dark, and more importantly, keeping Dark in the dark when it came to what herO was up to and what composition herO was working with. Dark just had very little time to piece together what was happening, especially on Golden Aura with a shorter rush distance by ground. Just very little time to react. Just like that, game 1 is on the board for herO. Meanwhile, quickly going over the vetoes. Remember, this is a best of 7 series between herO and Dark. herO vetoed Equilibrium, Dark vetoed Rise the Station. Standard vetoes. Equilibrium is the Zerg map, Rise the Station, the Protoss map. So both of them have been vetoed, and every other map is going to be featured here as long as we can go the distance. And even though game 1 was a strong game for herO and he was in control for the entirety of that game, essentially, Dark was never able to counterattack, never able to push out whatsoever. A lot of that did come down to the builds, did come down to the map, and I doubt that's going to be replicated further on in this series. And here we go, in the bottom left hand corner we have herO for CranKy Gaming, and in the top right we have his opponent, we have Dark, our Red Zerg player. Again, Dark of course currently teamless, but there are rumors circulating around that Dark has actually recently found a new team, yet to be announced, but I believe Dark is going to be looking to represent a new team for IM Katowice. So we're going to be all lying in wait, holding our breath to see who Dark is going to be representing once IM Katowice does rock around. So even though it is a little bit bittersweet right now that he is, teamless, he's not rocking a jersey or anything like that, hopefully not for too much longer. Not for too much longer, as we are getting ready for game number 2. And again, to reiterate, even though the previous game was heavily in favor of herO, Dark rushing into Ling Hydra of all things probably isn't going to happen again. At least not anytime soon. I wouldn't expect that in the next like 2 or 3 games. I mean, sorry, 1 or 2 games. Wouldn't really expect that. So we'll see how Dark does deviate. For now, Hatch Gas Pool. Standard opener here out of Dark, forced to take the unnatural natural, but Dark has opted to take the triangular third. What does that mean? Well, Creep is going to be launched across the map that much faster. This does mean that if Dark does want to go for a 2-base all-in, essentially a 2-base all-in, a Queen walk across the map, then it's going to be that much easier to pull off, as he already has Creep headed in that direction. And again, we've spoken about this before, but in this matchup, we have seen a lot of all-ins and aggression. We have seen a lot of Ling Queen Roach all-ins here on Solaris. Big reason for this is the speed zones. There are speed zones in the center of the map, and they do allow things like Queens, units like Queens, to actually get across the map that much faster and hit across the map that much harder as well. And let's see if we see an opportunity. Meanwhile, we're going to be settling into this, and again, herO was in control of the previous game, but Dark, he does like to vie for that control of the game as well. Both players actually dictate the pace of this series of ZvPs. Who's it going to be this time though? As herO once again going for a Stargate opener. Now remember, herO had a bit of a unique deviation last game. He went for an Oracle into Void Ray, not even a Void Ray first. So we'll keep an eye on herO to see how he does open up. And meanwhile, big shout out to Pony Danza, Papi Danza, Papi Ga. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 10 months, almost a full year, of support. Gracias, Papi, gracias. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it here on the Cranky Ducklings. Thank you. Quack, Papi, quack. Extra costumes. De nada, Papi, de nada. I'm gonna miss it, right? Like, this is the last weekend. Of Masters Coliseum. We've been casting this event every day for like 2 weeks, and then we had the qualifiers in December as well. It's been a long event. And we've enjoyed it thoroughly, and it's a little bit sad to see it go, sad to see it end. But we do have to crown a champion this weekend. And we're soon going to do so here. As here we go, we are opening up with an Oracle first. Once again, 2 games in a row, we're going to be shutting down this Overlord. And this time, we're going for a second Oracle behind this. We're not going for the Void Ray. So this looks like a much more standard opener here out of herO. He's going to be opening up triple Oracle into a 3rd base. And there it is. 3rd is on the way. Hola, papi. ¿Cómo está? So much casting. Kicking off 2024 strong. Oh, always casting, papi. Always casting. Gracias. Oracle gets across the map. Does find a mineral line, but the Queen positioning is just a little bit too good. We get a lot of damage dealt here to the Oracle. Not much to kill here at the natural base location. We do get a Larva and 2 workers, but not much else. So far, good defense here by Dark. Did lose a couple of workers, but 2 workers for an Oracle, not too bad here. The Oracle does survive though. At the same time, Darky's across the map. He wants to try to punish this base. Won't be able to, as we have the Oracle racing back home and the Depths are in position. Does cancel a shield battery. Oh, does get a probe. Damage being dealt, whatever we can get. Behind this, we have 4 gateways being set up. We have a Forge and a Twilight Council. Once again, we are not going into Blink. Once again, 2 games in a row, herO going for +1 charge. Now, if you remember, he went for a 3 base 8 gate timing. He just threw down a massive amount of gateways and had a massive amount of zealots to make use of. So herO went for a very aggressive build in game number 1. And we see another gateway explosion. That's 4 gates on the way. We already had 2 done. That's going to be 6 gates in total. Still pales in comparison to what we saw previous game, but there it is. Did I say 6 gates? I meant to say 7 and then 8. Same build, for the most part. The same build from game number 1. The biggest deviation is at this time, no Void Ray. No Void Ray, so it's going to be a little bit harder to keep the Vision away, or to keep Dark's Overlords away from the main base. But if you remember, the Stalker did already kill one of those Overlords, so Dark doesn't really have anything poised to dive in. I believe the lair is done, Roach Warren's on the way, but still no scout here from Dark, and he is going, thankfully, into Roaches. Unlike the previous game, remember, where Dark went Ling Hydra and was caught with his pants down, this game he's going Ling Roach. Now we have the Hydra Den on the way, but he did throw down a safety Roach Warren, so Roach is going to be available here to defend for Dark. So a much safer variation out of our Zerg player. Lings, they come in for a surround. They do catch the Adepts. The Adepts are going to be barely able to shade away here into the mineral line. Lings, they just keep on going straight into the mineral line, and the Zealots have been revealed. Big scout here from Dark. Roaches immediately on the way. 7 Roaches in production, but is this reaction too late? The Zealots, they're already here. They get across the map. Good SimCity here. Last second SimCity out of Dark. Does wall off in time. So they strap into the main base. The Zealots, they go straight for the 3rd. They catch a queen at the 3rd, and more Zealots are on the way. We're trying to surround the queens. Can we cut them off? We try to collapse here on the queens. We do get 1, 2, 3 queens get caught out outside of the wall. They're not able to make it in. Good catch there out of herO. Is being forced back once again, though. The Roach army is amassing. We're getting a larger and larger force here for Dark, and so far he's retained most of his drones. Only 4 workers go down. Nice hold position micro here outside of these queens, able to reduce that service area. Roaches are amassing. The Zealots are being cleaned up, but not before killing another queen. That's what, 4, 5 queens. Another queen goes down. We don't really touch the economy. Only 4 workers have fallen, but the queen count is resets and damage is done nonetheless. The stasis, no! We come back too soon. Stasis trap into the main base, and oh, Dark, he's being pulled apart. This is a much cleaner defense here compared to game number 1. But despite that, herO is unrelenting. He goes for another big warp of Zealots. It looks like he catches out the Roaches. Another stasis trap into the middle line as well, into the natural. And Dark is still struggling to keep on, to hold on here. The Roach army will eventually clean this up, but another queen goes down. I believe that was every queen. I believe we had 8 queens to begin with, and I believe all 8 queens have fallen here. So no more injects, no more anti-air, no more secure way to deal with these oracles, and Dark is all in. Dark, he's all in, is going for a big Roach counterattack. Blink about to finish up in 10 seconds. +1 attack, of course, is done. We have a shield battery, we have an overcharge. So far, good target firing. We do one-shot the Stalkers. Ooh, barely do blink away in time. And with that overcharge, herO, he's holding on. The longer this goes on, the better it's going to be here for herO, as he has the better economy, he has the better worker count, and he catches out the Roaches. The Roaches, they have been caught out here. A big chunk of them do go down. We have Hydras on the way to help support this army. We're going to be trading here with the Stalkers. The Roaches and Stalkers, I do mean, but the Oracle, they come in to clean up. And Dark, he's bleeding out far too much here. Again, Dark, he was able to survive and hold well against the Zealots initially, but we still got so much damage done. The stasis traps, the Oracle control here from herO was insane to come in time and time again. Stasis trap in almost every single mineral line. And herO's macro has been unstoppable behind this. Unstoppable, as he's working on a 4th. 4th base is on the way. He's up on bases compared to the Zerg player. He's up on the worker count as well. And he's up on army. Meanwhile, more Hydras are being produced here. Dark trying to hold on. When it comes to the tech, I believe we don't have a Hive. I believe we don't have a Lurker Den. We're still stuck on Roach Hydra, which isn't the worst composition. The problem here is the economy. The problem here is that Dark just cannot sustain himself. Not anymore. Not after the damage has been dealt. herO has just been all over him, and here we go. The Stalkers are to engage once again. Good blinks out of herO. Does avoid any real damage here on those Stalkers. And you can see that herO, his goal, deny the 4th. There's Zealots on the left, there's Stalkers on the right. Really all we're doing as we posture, as we trade, is make sure that there is no expansion. As Zealots, they collapse on the Roach Hydra towards the left-hand side.
They collapse on the army. More roaches going to be going down. The boys, they have to be pulled. And now, finally, we're killing some workers. We're killing some drones. We're dealing critical damage here. 7 more workers go down. And can we deny +2? Can we deny +2 as we are forced back once again? Dark barely struggling to hold on here. He's trying to hold on, but the aggression is relentless. We dive on top of the army. Good target firing here on the Hydras specifically. Very nice target firing there out of herO. Takes down another queen, keeping the queen count at 0. That's the other big thing here is that Dark, he has limited larva available. His queen count was reset. And herO, he's just really securing himself here. He's already got the 4th. It's already up and running. 5th Nexus on the way. A little bit unnecessary. We don't really need a 6th base, but you know what? Why not? Sorry, 5th base even. Don't even need a 5th base, but it's on the way nonetheless. Immortal production has commenced here. We're making 3 immortals at a time. Fun fact, the setup here, it's the exact same from herO. Like, it's the same build 2 games in a row, slightly different deviation. Remember, in game number 1, herO did make that Void Ray initially. Here in game 2, he skipped it, but the same kind of transition here into +1 Blink Stalkers, into follow-up upgrades, into triple Robo. Last game, because of the heavy Ling Hydra composition, he went into triple Colossus production. Here, because there's more Roaches, less Hydras, triple Immortal production instead of Colossus. So here he's making these slight adjustments based on what he's up against, based on what he is facing off against, and still able to have a lot of success nonetheless as he's pushing towards that base with a mass amount of Zealots here once again. The Hydra count is getting quite high here, but we are burning through all those roaches and soon going to be connecting with the juicy center of those Hydras as the final roach is going to be going down. We connect with the Hydras and they melt against these Zealots and against these Stalkers here. Good trades from herO. Loses the Zealots, blinks the hell out of there. Preserves his Stalkers. Stalkers have been preserved, and here we go. Here come those Immortals from across the map. 4 Immortals coming into reinforcements, still making 3 Immortals at a time. And herO just keeping Dark on the back foot. Again, Dark still just trying to hold on here, still on 3 bases, still just hasn't had the luxury of expanding and taking a 4th. There's just been too much aggression. Now we have the 4th on the way towards the left-hand side. As I say that, there's an Oracle camping that location. Oh, there we go. We do manage to get it up. Soon to be up and running if given some time, but here we go. The Immortals have arrived. We now have a backbone to the army here of herO. More robust backbone. Boys are being pulled. Very nice force fields. GG gets called. And herO will take a 2-0 lead in this series. GG, well played. And herO is typically a very trendy player. herO, once he latches onto a playstyle, he will stick with it for quite some time before being forced off of it. And herO is finding a lot of success here with this 8-gate 3-base +1 charge timing. 2 games in a row so far. And again, like, Dark initially had a really good hold. Like, remember, Dark, he was producing roaches, he had some really nice hold position micro with the drones as well. But he was still caught out of position. Remember, Dark had seconds to react. He saw the Zealots as they were pushing up the ramp in towards his bases. Very little time to react from Dark. And if you remember, while he was trying to get ready for that defense, he lost 4 queens. 4 queens went down instantly. The queen count was cut in half as the fight was starting essentially. So Dark just barely wasn't able to get behind his wall at the natural and barely wasn't able to get, you know, the SimCity that he was looking for. He had like a really good last second defense despite that, but it wasn't good enough to really stop the tide and to really stop herO from snowballing out of control. Again, like the vision here, the scouting of Dark is something that like he's been heavily relying on, but just barely has been taking a little bit too long to get a read on what's been happening. And here we go. In the bottom left hand corner we have herO for CranKy ZvP, and in the top right we have his opponent. We have Dark, South Korean Zerg player. Down 2-0. It's a best of 7. As a reminder, this is a best of 7. We still have plenty of games to work with, and I want to believe that Dark can bring it back. Looking at his camera positioning, it looks like Dark is rushing into the gold. Let's go. This is something that Dark loves to do. He's going to be rushing into that gold base here on Alkyone. This is his go-to here in ZvP. We'll see if herO can punish this. Now, fun fact, yesterday I was actually bringing this up a lot. Yesterday when we were casting a laser, because the laser was doing the same thing. I was like, oh, you know, Dark loves this as well. And I was talking about how we can punish this and how both herO and Classic have been very accustomed to scouting on Alcyone and checking the gold base first and punishing it. As I say that, this is going to be a slightly later probe scout here from herO, as he's opening up 2-gate. Very interesting. It's going to be a 2-gate opener out of herO and a delayed scout as well, as he's sticking around here with that probe, throwing down the cyber core first before moving out. Not even moving. Oh my god. Okay. Greedy move here out of herO. Or I say greedy, an aggressive move, but likewise no scouting information. So what I was going to say is that we've casted Classic and herO very often, very quickly probe scout, check the goal base, and if they confirm it, they already have their gateway back at home, but they throw down a forge as a response, and they cannon rush. They cannon rush that gold, they deny the gold, and we get into a longer game. Here, herO, he skips the probe scout, blindly goes 2-gate, which is an aggressive opener, and has no idea what's going on. I'm curious if he just assumes that Dark is going for the gold, and with a 2-gate opener, we're going to have a lot of adepts real quick. Very aggressive build here out of herO. He's going to have 2 and then 4 adepts, and he's going to be zooming across the map. Now Dark, he scouts. He sees the opener. He's aware of how much danger he's in. Can Dark hold? There we go. 2 adepts moving out already, shading across the map. Dark going to be taking his natural base back at home. And again, defending this early on can be very awkward for the Zerg player. The rocks are still not knocked down, just barely in time. Rocks have fallen, drones are falling one after the other. 1 drone already falls. We have a couple of slow links here to defend. We zone away those adepts, but so far really good positioning here from herO. He denies mining. He denies a lot of mining at that gold base as we shade onto the other side of the wall. Unable to catch those drones. At the same time, oh, the probe is on hold position. Lings, they do try to get across the map. They do kill one of those probes. The link count is getting higher and higher as, oh, we get another drone. And you can see here that herO, he's just abusing this location. At the same time, Lings, they get across the map. Probes are also going down as well. So Dark does some counter damage, but there's only 2 drones. There's only 2 drones mining here. There's barely an economy. herO, he ignores the queen. He just walks past it. Again, threatening those drones. Link speed is now done, so herO has to respect this position. He backs off, and he's amassing more adepts. Again, clearly the blind 2-gate opener from herO, even though he didn't scout the gold, he assumed that Dark would be taking it. Again, he's known for this. Like, Dark, he has a reputation on taking the gold base on Alcyone. Link speed is done, though. Link speed is done. Good engage here. One adept does go down as you shade towards the natural. This is the other danger here of this map when it comes to rushing into the gold, is that your other bases are exposed. Decent round with the adepts, they shade in. They shade into the main base. More drones going down. We force a recall as well. As we get 1 more worker, and we're following this up with 4-gate glaive adepts. But again, it isn't your standard glaive adept push. I believe no robo. No robo, which means we cannot reinforce across the map, but we're going to be able to hit a little bit faster here because we have so many adepts to begin with already. Bailing Nest on the way. More gateways on the horizon here as well. We commit to the shade. The surface area is brutal. The Lings, they cannot get us around on these adepts. The terrain, the map working against Dark right now. And I believe we're going up to 6 gateways. I believe it's going to be 6-gate glaive adept here from herO. It's at least 5, if I was able to count correctly. Glaive's about to finish up. We have a robo behind this. This is going to be quite a big 2-base commitment here from herO. So he does shade back. Reinforcing once again. Glaive seconds away from finishing. It's 5 gateways currently. 4 gateways done, 5th gateway in production as we speak. But we do have it at Bailings. Okay, so Bailings are a very difficult defense here for Dark. Not impossible. He has to make sure he keeps up with the shade. Bailings are done. He tries to look down the adepts. He will not waste the Bailings. Does waddle away. Adepts, they complete the shade though. They head towards the mineral line. Head towards the natural. So far, Dark, he's keeping up with the shades here. We should not commit the Bailings. They crash in. Good connections here with the Bailings. Good positioning here from herO, but he will be losing these adepts. They will be cleaned up. At the same time, more adepts, they arrive here at the gold, and we just continue to deny more mining. More denied mining here in the gold base. Drones are surviving a little bit longer, but we can focus them down. The queen barely does survive. We lock down these adepts. The Banelings will connect, and we will clean this up. We'll clean up wave 1, but we're not done. We have a second wave behind this. Now, when it comes to the economy, herO does have the worker lead. We've been bleeding out a lot of lings, we've been bleeding out a lot of Banelings, but the adept count isn't that high. The adept count has been stifled, and Dark can actually retain his workers and try to drone from here. You can see Dark, he's amassing more workers. Immortals are actually going to be built up back at home. We have charge on the way. herO is committed to the 2-base all-in. He's not expanding. He could. He's not. Good juggling there at herO. He kills the queen. Adepts a shade towards that natural base, but Dark catches him. Good catch there out of Dark. Does get us around on those adepts. We'll clean them up. We do have adepts diving into the main, going to try and distract his opponent. But again, this is a very expensive transition out of herO. He's working towards Charge Lots, Arc on Immortal on 2 bases. Again, herO, he's playing on a knife's edge right now. He is still very all-in, very committed, and he needs to get more damage done. Dark, he is so close to stabilizing. Ooh, as once again, the drone's going to be going down. We deny any kind of mining at the gold base, and Dark, he just evacuates the gold. herO going to try and evacuate with what little he has left. And we'll get away with some of this. It's the juggling. Cute micro there out of herO, even going for a warp in as well. But the Banelings are waddling in, and we do deny the warp in. Roaches are amassing. More drones on the way. Now, as Dark is attempting to stabilize, as he's getting into a more roach-heavy composition, herO has been building up Immortals. He's been building up Immortals here. He's up to, I want to say, 8 gates? Working on 6 to 7 gateways at the moment, and he's taking a third, a very late third though, a very late third base. I kind of want to give a bit of the edge to Dark here. It's hard to say. Dark is still down in workers, but the gold is helping him stabilize, is helping him keep up with the economy of herO, and herO is getting out of his all-in. Is trying to expand, is trying to take that third. Ooh, Prism is zoned away, taking a lot of damage. As you have shade into that natural base, they get another 4 drones. Dark down to 38 workers. We have a good immortal count. I'm concerned if Dark tries to all in, but Dark isn't. Dark is droning. And meanwhile, here comes the immortal army of herO. Okay, the army sizes are pretty comparable. Still a lot of Banelings. Ideally, the Banelings that want to connect with the Zealots. Then we can deal with everything else. Speaking of Banelings, they want Lin. Good splits here from herO. Does avoid a lot of those connections. As Zealots, they trickle across the map as well. Big warp in into the main base from behind. Banelings are finishing. But they do crash into those Zealots. The Roach count slowly getting higher and higher. We're dealing with this army, but at the same time, we take control of the gold base once again. Just never allowing Dark, to actually mine from that gold. GG. herO barely does break Dark here, taking a 3-0 lead. Whew. GG. That was an intense game. GG, well played here. herO with a 3-0 lead against Dark. When it comes to that game as well, again, herO, it was really cool to see him not even scout the gold base of his opponents, but open up 2-gate anyway to punish him. Clearly, like, he was just assuming what Dark was going to be doing because he's known for taking that gold base. Went with a 2-gate opener into 4 adepts, into glaive adepts, into eventually the immortal all-in, of course. And he was able to just make sure Dark was never able to mine from that gold base freely, was never able to really get it up and running. And herO, yeah, did a great job at punishing. I say did a great job. That was still really close. Like, Dark was keeping up for the most part. He never lost like a mass amount of drones. There was always a handful of workers here and there. He was like barely treading water. He was able to get into roach production, able to connect with Banelings. It still felt very close, but herO barely did break Dark. Barely stopped a longer game from occurring. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, we're getting into game number 4, and spawning the top right hand corner on match point, we have herO for CranKy Gaming. And in the bottom left, we have his opponent, Dark, our South Korean Zerg player. Best Zerg player in Korea. He's up against the wall. He's been struggling here against herO, and again, historically, herO is the favorite player here. I do think he has like a 60 or 65% win rate against Dark. They play a lot against each other, but herO is typically slightly favored. In saying that, it's usually more of a back and forth. We usually do get a deeper series here between these two players, but herO has been relentless here so far. And I think what I'm really concerned about mainly is that we've already experienced 3 games, but the reality is that we haven't really seen much of herO. Game 1 and Game 2 was the same build. It was the same 8-gate charge timing, and I'm sure we're not going to be seeing that again. But it was the same build 2 games in a row. Dark just had a hard time getting a read on it. And Game 3 was herO punishing the greed and punishing the goal base of Dark. Again, a very specialized build and very specialized kind of game on Alkyone. It feels like herO hasn't really shown us like the real depth and breadth of his builds and what he has available to him. Likewise, neither has Dark, but that's why I'm concerned, because we're already pretty far into this series. One more loss, and Dark is out of the tournament. So we have very little room for error here. Very little room. Dark, he has to fight back here and now to start that comeback and to force the ace match. Behind this, Hatch Gas Pool. Standard opener here out of Dark. Getting into his Hatch Gas Pool timing. Likewise, herO going for a gate expand. Let's not forget the couple of rounds before Dark did 4-0 Max Rex. He did. We spoke about this when we casted that series. Fun fact, so when it came to Dark vs Max Packs, we spoke about how Max Packs is like the polar opposite to herO in a sense, where herO, he's the aggressor. He's the one dictating the pace of the game. Dark versus Max Packs, Dark had so much more freedom. Dark was the one picking the builds in the face of Max Packs, going for proxy hatches, going for all-ins. Like, Dark was very much so in control against Max Packs and so much more comfortable. Here against herO, the turns have tabled, you know? Here against herO, it's a very different dynamic, play style-wise. I think that's kind of the phrase and how we were wording it when we casted Max Packs versus Dark, is that, like, kind of stylistically, Dark is ideal against Max Packs. Meanwhile, stylistically, Dark and herO, they kind of butt heads a lot. And they're both kind of like fighting for map control. They're fighting for control of the game overall and who can be the more aggressive player. It's again a very different dynamic, which is always a lot of fun to watch. Here we go. herO going to be zooming across the map with a handful of adepts, going for a Stargate opener, going for an Oracle first. Going for that Oracle first, and ooh, very similar to game number 1, it's going to be an Oracle opener into a Void Ray. The Oracle going to be harassing across the map, luring Dark into a false sense of security, and then bam, the Void Ray comes out, and the Void Ray going to be hunting down as many Overlords as we can get. Oracle dips in, gets a drone, good positioning here with the Queens, good stutter stepping as well as, oh, we get a lot of damage done on that Oracle, deep in the red. Not really worth it here for herO. Gets 2 drones, keeps the Oracle alive, but suddenly that much less utility available because it is so low in the HP. herO has to be very careful with that Oracle. Meanwhile, here comes the Void Ray. And again, so the Void Ray is aware of the Overlord that's outside the natural, but the Void Ray has not been scouted, so we're going to be hunting down some of these more exposed Overlords that are out on the map. We're going to be trying to hunt them down, and there we go. 1 Overlord is going to be caught. Ideally, we catch the 2nd Overlord here towards the south, and then we can go back and get the third Overlord. It looks like, though, herO, he's turning back around, and he's going for that secure Overlord across the map. 2 Overlord kills so far. It is going to be supply blocking Dark a little bit. Ooh. And this is a very different transition. Okay, so far this series, when it comes to the mid game, we've seen a lot. Let's go. We've seen a lot of +1 charge, but this is going to be a very tech heavy style. The Forge was delayed. We're going for Blink. We're going for a faster Immortal. Meanwhile, Dark is going all in. He's waddling the Queens across the map. He's cutting workers here at 39. Dark has had enough being on the receiving end of this, and he's going for a Ling, Queen, Roach Ravager all in. It's all or nothing. Shield batteries are on the way. And herO has very little time to respond to this, very little time to react. Again, here we go. Dark, he's had enough. He wants to be the aggressor. He wants to be in the driver's seat. And this Queens, they do arrive. Now we get eyes on this. We have 3 shield batteries in production. We have cannons on the way as well. herO has very little to work with. He has an Immortal in production. The Immortal is in production. The Adept about to be knocked down, and the Lings, they could flood in, and they do. Clutch force field here, but a couple of Lings do manage to bust on forward. Void Ray goes down. Void Ray goes down to the Queen. Shield batteries, they're just not done in time. They're just barely not done. Immortal has arrived, but Lings, they're breaking in. They are breaking through. We're breaking through into that natural. Again, these shield batteries, they're just a little bit too late. They finish up after the wall has been broken. Shield batteries, they're going to be knocked down here by the Bows. We have broken into that natural. We have compromised it. There is soon to be a second Immortal. But once these force fields run out, yeah, we can just flood on in. The floodgates, they have opened. Dark, he busts into the natural base. Stalkers, they have to be pulled from the left-hand side. We may have to pull the Voids as well. But it looks like just too much. It looks like far too much here. The scout was too late. The reaction was too late. And Dark, he's going to be able to tie things up here, or to try to tie things up, to fight back in the series. We're camping the production. GG gets called, and Dark fights back, putting a point on the board. GG, well played. A very crisp build there. Very crisp build out of Dark, able to catch herO off guard, able to snowball out of control, and he does fight back. This is it. This is the beginning of the comeback here. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy road for Dark whatsoever, but the first step has been taken. And again, now the roles have been reversed a little bit. This time, it was herO that took a little bit too long to scout what was happening. Remember, he opened up with a single Oracle, not double Oracle, even triple Oracle. He had that much less chances to scout his opponent to get a read on what was happening. As a result, the shield batteries were being thrown down as the Queens were more than halfway across the map. They were more than halfway across the map by the time the shield batteries were being thrown down. And again, herO, he just needed more time. Imagine if he had like 10 more seconds, 10, 15 more seconds to actually throw down those shield batteries to allow them to finish. Suddenly, it's a much cleaner defense. Would he have held? It's still up in the air, but again, just the time the clock was running, and herO just took a little bit too long to recognize what was happening, and Dark fights back. As a result, the series will continue, but our Protoss is still one game away from winning this all, from taking down his opponent. In top left, we have herO from CranKy Game. And in the bottom right, we have Dark, our South Korean Zerg player. Let's go. Here we go again. herO, he is still one more game away from taking this entire series. Dark at least has taken some of that momentum away from herO. And we'll see how things turn out on Oceanborn. Now, after we just experienced Hecate, the other big thing as to why he has so little time to react, Hecate actually has a very short rush distance by ground. Likewise, Oceanborn is similar. Short rush distance by ground. 3-base all-ins are quite common from the side of Zerg on this map. We've seen Dark time and time again go for these queen walks across the map with roaches, with lings, maybe a Nidus variation all-in, maybe a Dropper-Lord all-in. Dark, he is more than willing here to just pull the trigger and send it on Oceanborn. And I'm sure herO is aware of that. I'm sure he's aware, and after that last game, I'm sure herO is going to be that much more wary about scouting and keeping an eye on Dark. So the dynamic is shifting a little bit here between these players. We'll see how herO does respond. So far, gate expand. Gate expand here from herO. Likewise, Hatchcats pull out a Dark standard opener from both of our players. We're really looking for any kind of big deviations. We're looking for our initial tech. And of course, how hard or how little we drone. Oh boy. Here we go. Overlord gets across the map, does get an eye on the opener, on the buildings, on the SimCity. Dark aware of what has been going on. And we will ease into this. We just have a safety amount of lings on the way. 4 lings here. This is designed to swat away the probe and to expand and to take our third base. As once again we have our Stargate opener. Now, we have yet to see a Void Ray first. We have yet to see a Void Ray first here at a herO. So far, it's always been at least one Oracle, and then we can deviate from there, either into additional Oracles or into a Void Ray. I wouldn't be opposed to a Void Ray follow-up, but I would imagine that after the last game, herO will most likely go into a multitude of oracles just so we can keep an eye on Dark and make sure everything is on the up and up. Here we go. Adept going to be threatening a shade towards the main base. Do commits. But there are Lings in position here. Queens as well. So far, good response from Dark. He's going to be able to swat this away. Oh, looking for surround. It looks like he will catch the Adept. Big pick off here from Dark. Again, losing that first Adept is huge because it means that your second Adept can't meet up with the first. We cannot one-shot workers. Likewise, we have that much less to defend the third base against a Ling counterattack. Speaking of, Lings are moving out. The goal here for Dark is to delay the third base for as long as he can. Losing that Adept, again, does kind of lead to all this occurring. herO did open up with one Oracle. We have a second Oracle on the way. It looks like herO wants that third, but the probe! The probe does get shut down. Again, good map control here out of Dark. Things escalating quite quickly after that first Adept did fall. At the same time, we do have some good stutter stepping, and the Oracle is swatted away. Not without killing 3 drones. Meanwhile, second Oracle has arrived, and herO should be focusing on ferrying, on babysitting this probe and expanding. Now, this expansion is delayed, but at least it is on the way here for herO. Oh my god, that is a very fast Baneling Nest. Let's go. We have a 4-minute Baneling Nest here from Dark. No reason to make a Baneling Nest this early on, especially against a Stargate opener. Dark is going for a Bane Bust. And it's so important for herO to scout this. herO, he hasn't seen the Baneling Nest yet. He doesn't know. He is unaware. Twilight Council Forge follow-up here for, I imagine, +1 Blink. Could be charge. Ideally for Dark is charge as he is rushing into mass Lings. We have 16, 18 Lings on the way. Baneling Nest is about to finish up. The Bane Bust is soon to be upon us, and herO has yet to scout the Baneling Nest. Does see a couple of Lings. Not the biggest of scouts yet. Oracles, they dive towards the main. They're going to be zoned away by the Queens. Yeah, we have Queens in position here at the natural as well, and we are still making Lings, by the way. We do catch out some of those Adepts. Behind this Dark, he is droning, actually, so he's getting away from his Bane Bust, getting into drones. Does catch more Adepts. Oh, does catch 1, 2, soon to be 3 Adepts in total. Very nice catch here from Dark. A lot of Adepts are falling, as it looks like he gets 1 more here. But he will deviate away from the Bane Bust. Baneling Nest has been scouted here from herO. Dark, not liking his chances. Oh my god, catches the Oracle. Oracle does go down. As 2 more, they do hit the third base, and oh, we are getting damage done. 5 drones fall. 6 workers even. It's a lot of damage. A lot of economic damage, and here comes the Baneling Bust here of Dark. This is delayed, is what I will say. I like that it's delayed, though. It's a way to kind of... Here, remember, he saw the Baneling Nest. He also saw the droning. He saw that Dark wasn't committing. He should have by now, and he didn't. So this is an offbeat timing out of Dark. herO believes that Dark has transitioned away from the Baneling Bust, when really he hasn't. And Banelings, they're going to be rolling in towards that third. Oracle does scout. Oracle, he does scout this, and can we react in time as we get in from both ends? Show us! Oh my god, we come in from both angles. 17 probes go down. Dark, he just cripples the economy here of herO. He takes out everything at the third base. The Adepts get caught out as well. And from here, Dark, he can drone. He can just drone freely. +1 melee on the way. 13 drones as well. herO did not get eyes on those Banelings in time. Not a good enough reaction. And just like that, Dark is ahead. Dark, he has a massive economic lead. Roach Warren on the way. Lair, +1 melee. More Lings here just to keep the pressure on. Keep the pressure on his opponent. herO does reciprocate a little bit. He gets a couple of drones across the map. 2 workers do go down. But we are still looking for more damage. Still looking for more here. So Lings, they do try to keep up here. We do have a decent amount of them just to deny any kind of Adept harass. Oracles, they got a lot of work to do, but the Queens are able to keep up with their rotations. And Dark doesn't have to break this third base. Like, he's already done the damage he was looking for. He gets an eye on the Stalkers at least. But behind this, he's building up a Lingbane Roach Ravager composition. getting into Roach Ravager. Ravager's being morphed in as we speak. Dark assuming that herO is about to push and assumes correctly. As herO, he has arrived. He has a couple of sentries, couple of force fields. Zealots from the left-hand side as well. We do pick off an Overlord. But here comes Dark with a surround. He collapses on this army. He looks down the forces. Big balls here on the sentries. Stasis Trap is not going to come into play. And Dark, he just shuts this army down completely. Only a handful of Stalkers to survive. At the same time, a Zealot counterattack here. But these are slow lots. Charge still not quite done. And Dark has time to respond. He is able to rotate around. Cleans up those Zealots. At the same time, the Stalkers trying to push in, but there's only 5 Stalkers. Not enough here to really break through. And Dark, he's now up 21 drones. He's on 4 bases. He's taking up into a Hive, actually. Hive is on the way for Dark. Same time, Zealots coming from behind. They're trying to get on top of these Ravagers. A couple of Ravagers are going to be going down. But alas, we still have plenty to work with here. The Zealots, they have been just bunching up, ready to reinforce. A lot of Ravagers are going down, though. Oh my god. We got 2, 3, 4 Ravagers get targeted down by the Zealots, but there's still just an overwhelming army here. The reinforcements are just too much. And here, he cannot touch the economy. He's trying to get into those middle lines, trying to focus on as many drones as he can. But alas, Dark maintains his economic lead. Does maintain. There's still so much pressure on herO. We've got the Prism coming in from behind. We have a second Robo on the way. We have a Robotics Bay as well. herO, it looks like he's trying to get into Colossus or Disruptor production. I do love that we went back into Oracles as well. We have a 4th Oracle on the way. These fresh Oracles getting a lot of damage dealt here as the Queens are nowhere to be found. Oh, we get 10, 9. Oh, so we get 9, 10, 11, 12 drone. Oh my god. 14. 15 workers. The entire mineral line goes down. Very nice control there out of herO. And again, the Queens were just not in position. They were not able to stop this. Uh-oh. Just like that, herO blindsiding Dark here, going back into Oracle production. Gets a mineral line, and herO is evening up the worker count. He's on the road to recovery. He's still down 10 workers. But things aren't as dire as they once were for herO. As I say that, I mean, Dark is about to max out. Economically, herO is catching up, but the army size here from Dark is still insane. We yoink the Prism into the main. Oh, we have the Power Bomb as well. The Prism gets shut down. And Dark, he can now focus on his push, as he is about to hit 200 supply. And herO, he's still recovering. He still needs more time. The Oracles, they're going to be able to focus down quite a lot of drones once again. Oh my god, it's going to be 8 more workers going down. Very nice target firing here from herO. Very nicely done. As Dark is going to be pushing. He's just amassing his army. He has maxed out. Revelation does have eyes on this. herO's aware. He's getting into double Disruptor production. Again, a couple of good Novas and he can hold. But remember, Dark has Vipers. Dark, he has Vipers available. Abduction is going to be key here for Dark. We may not even need it, as he just has an overwhelming army. He's rolling in with his Lingbane, with his Roaches. Do we have Storms? Nova's going to be going off. Oh, good connections here on the Banelings. Very nice connections, but there are the Blinding Clouds. Nova's going to be going off, but we have Abductions, we have Yoinks. And it looks like Dark, he has too much. He yoinks every single Disruptor. We have a handful of Stalkers remaining, but we will break this 3rd base for a 2nd time. Again, Dark catching herO completely off guard earlier with his Bane bust, with his Baneling run by. And that's a kill on the 3rd base. GG gets called, and Dark puts another point on the board. GG. Whew. Let's go here. Dark gaining momentum over the course of these games, winning 2 games in a row. herO is still so close. He's so close to taking this series. But Dark, he does still have some fight left in him here. He is still unrelenting. And once again, Dark, I love that He rushed into the Baneling nest, but he went for a delayed Baneling run by. If you remember, he did hold it back. He was focusing on just leading aggression. He knows he got scouted, and he was making it look like he was easing up on how aggressive he was, and he caught herO with his pants down. Big connections in the middle line. Dark killed, what was that, 16, 17 probes? From that moment, Dark, he was able to maintain his economic lead, able to get ahead and stay ahead. And herO was crippled from that moment, was not able to quite recover. Was close though. I mean, his Oracle control was really crisp, was really clean, but you need more than just Oracles. And here we go, we're getting into our next game, and in the bottom right hand corner we have herO for CranKy Gaming. And in the top left we have his opponent going for a 15-15. It is Dark, our South Korean Zerg player. Let's go. 15-15 opener here from our Zerg. With this does typically mean we can get our hatchery on location without being disrupted. This also leads into a faster spawning pool and delayed gases here. So we're going to have late link speed for Dark, but overall a safer opener from our Zerg player. Very safe opener. Oh. And we do see herO getting into the main base and confirming this as well. Does get eyes on the timing of the hatchery, does get eyes on the timing of that spawning pool, is aware of Dark's build. As we load into Side Delta. And we're loading into Side Delta here of all maps, and this is going to be an interesting one. So from here, of course, the rush distance by ground is a little bit longer. A longer rush distance by ground, so if we wanted to go for something like a queen push or a queen all-in, a little bit less effective here on a map like this. There is a really nice position where you can wedge yourself in between the third and the natural, but the natural is pretty heavily fortified. With the ramp, with the point of elevation, that natural base is not going down anytime soon. One of the big features here of Side Delta. Likewise, the center of the map is very wide open. We've yet to really get a back and forth, to be honest. Like, it's been 5 games already, but it's been a very chaotic, very hectic, very intense 5 games, where it's just been hyper aggression and players are just dealing economic damage and blow for blow here to the economy, to the armies. Things have been very intense. We have yet to really ease into like a 4 base versus 4 base setup, you know, like a proper macro back and forth mid game to late game. Yet to happen. I don't think it's going to happen here. Well, we'll see. I don't know if we're ever going to get that in this series, just because of how aggressive both players are. We'll see where we do take things though, as we're going to be going for another Stargate opener. Stargate opener out of herO. Dark working towards his third. Things looking pretty standard between our players for the time being. This should be another Oracle opener, and herO should be working towards a third base. But it's really from the third that we have to keep our eye on herO. Likewise, we also need to keep an eye on the tech of Dark, because Dark has shown us quite a bit already when it comes to how aggressive he's willing to be. We saw the fast Baneling nest in the last game. We saw the Queen all-in the game before that. What do you have for us here in Game 6? Again, Dark, one more win, and we can force the ace match. Can end up in a longer series, go all the way to that Game 7. Personally, I hope so. I want us to go the distance, but we'll see. See what our players have in store for us. Adept's going to be moving out. Second Oracle is on the way. Third base soon to be taken here by herO. And remember, Dark did delay his gases. He did delay his link speed just now starting. So there's no real secure way for Dark, not just to shut down these Adepts, but also counterattack as well. herO, he's pretty safe back at home. Speaking of, Oracle dives into the main. Oh, takes a lot of damage from the Queens, but gets 3 drones in total. Again, link speed only halfway done. herO, his third base is completely safe and sound. Stark is just trying to drone up as best he can. Dark is just focusing on droning. We have our transition from herO. It's going to be +1. It's going to be, I imagine, Blink, but he has been quite fond of charge timings throughout this entire series. But again, I imagine Blink will be on the way just to deviate. Stays strapped into the natural base, but it is going to be shut down. Good reaction so far out of Dark. Likewise, Dark going for a faster Evo chamber, should be +1 melee. Dark going for a much more standard build. Yo, for the first time this series, can we get like a mid game? Can we get a back and forth mid game? Oh my god. We'll see. As the Oracle gets across the map, we do see Dark working towards a 5-minute lair. Standard lair timing here out of our Red Zerg player. Ooh, meanwhile, I assumed it was going to be +1 and Blink this time at a herO, but no, once again, it's the same build. Well, similar build, I should say. Triple Oracle into a third base, and that is a massive gateway explosion. This is how herO has been winning games so far this series. That's going to be 8 gates in total. 6 gates on the way, 2 gates already done, 8 gate, +1, charge on 3 bases. It's how herO won game 1 and game number 2. Well, he won both games, yeah, game 1 and game 2, and then game 3 was the Glaive Adepts on Alcyone. Oh boy, once again this is going to hit like a truck. Once again, can Dark get a read on this? Can he react in time? That's going to be the big question here, because we need roaches to defend. Banelings would be ideal as well to be able to hold on. The roach warren is done. We have 6 roaches already in production. A much safer opener here out of Dark. Previously he would be droning, he'd be a little bit greedier, but this time he's amassing an army. Oh yeah, that's 15 roaches on the way. Yeah, Dark cutting workers here at 60. Zealot counterattack, Zealot push is upon us. But unlike previous games, Dark has an army. And unlike previous games, the rush distance by ground is a little bit longer here on side Delta. But here we go, the Zealots, they have revealed themselves, they dive on top of the queens. Clutch transfuse, 1 queen goes down, 2nd queen goes down as well. The roaches, though, they have arrived. We get a 3rd queen, and we want 1 more. We're not going to be able to get it. 3 queens. But Dark will deflect the push. At the same time, a 2nd Zealot army coming in for the left-hand side. Going for the mineral line, going for the roaches. And it looks like they will break in. A couple of drones are going down. Good target firing here with those adepts from herO. Another queen falls. It's going to be 4 dead queens. We get into the mineral line, and 5 drones go down. Good economic damage here, but not the same critical damage that we've seen previously. Again, on some of the smaller maps, herO had more success. Here on side Delta, he kills 5 workers, kills 4 queens, but the roach army is still looking terrifying, and Dark is looking to stabilize. He's looking to. herO, meanwhile, sneaking up on that 4th base. He wants to force a cancel. Oh, he wants to force a kill even as he dives on the hatchery. And he will get a kill. Yeah, the Oracles are going to be going ham here. We've gone up to 4 Oracles. The Zealots are going to be cleaned up, but we are still trading nicely here with the Oracles as they go ham here on the Roach army. A lot of Roaches going down. And with the death of those Roaches, that will kind of deter any kind of counterattack from Dark as we are transitioning into +1 Blink Stalkers. 2nd Forge is on the way. Immortal production has commenced. herO, he's transitioning out of charge lots. And again, typically by now, he'd already be killing Dark. Like, like that's how this series has turned out so far. Like, these charge timings have been so much more brutal, typically, historically here for herO. But this time, Dark played safe. This time, Dark was very safe when it came to his Roach production. He made so much early on, and now here we go, Dark getting ready for a big counterattack. With Lings, with Roaches, with even Banelings. 18 Banelings on the way. herO is in a bit of trouble. Shield batteries are in production. Banelings are waddling in towards that 3rd base from the right-hand side. Immortals are trying to hold on to these Stalkers as well. Where are the shield batteries? There are none. No shield batteries. The Banelings, they waddle in. Sorry, there's 1 shield battery here in the middle line. It goes down. 11 probes as well, but we dive on top of the Roaches. herO, he dives on the army. Can he trade well against this? There are so many Oracles in the air, and they shut down all the Lings. The Lings, they melt. But there aren't enough Stalkers to keep pushing. There just barely aren't enough. As we chip away at those Roaches, we get a number 3. We get another 3 Roaches here in the retreat. Dark, he backs off, and he's transitioning into Hydras. Hydran's on the way. Ooh. And as the dust does settle, herO, he lost 11 probes, remember. He lost 11 probes in that mineral line to the Bane Bust, or to the Banelings. But here, he's still ahead in workers. He still has a higher worker count. He's on 4 bases. Dark was very committed. He was very committed with that push because his 4th was killed, remember. It was a 3-base all-in essentially out of Dark. That was meant to end the game. It didn't. I have to give the edge to herO. I have to give the edge to herO right now because Dark is still struggling to recover economically. He's still droning. He needs to come back in some way. I'm loving this Bailing run by. Bailing's towards that 3rd. But we're in position. We have Stalkers in position. The 4th base is happily up and running. Is happily mining here. Big Ling run by though. Bailings roll in, but they do not connect in the mineral line. And likewise, the Lings are thwarted by the cannons. Oh, and this Zealot counterattack is brutal. We get on top of the Hydras. We get 1. We get 2. 2 Hydras go down. We delay mining there at the 4th base. herO still maintains his economic lead. At the same time, though, this base looking quite vulnerable. Now we got Warpins. We have plenty of Warpins available. The Prism has been spotted. Prism will go down. Oh, just barely. But herO's being so proactive here. He catches out the Roaches once again. A lot of Roaches going to be going down. The Hydras, they have arrived. And herO, can we commit without splash damage? He's just now making his 2nd Robo. There we go. Colossus production has commenced. I like this choice out of herO, but he doesn't have any Colossi yet. Needs a little bit more time. Oh, we have a lot of revelations available here, shutting down so many of these tumors. So many of those tumors getting picked off. We have plenty of force fields to deny any kind of surround, and herO will retreat. The sentries! Oh, herO, a little bit of mispathing. Force fields are thrown down. Sentry's barely going to be saved here, but it looks like 1 sentry may go down. Barely we do save it, but we had to waste a lot of force fields. That was 6 force fields being thrown down. That should not have happened. That will mean that this follow-up push is going to be that much more effective. herO, he's going to try to hold on. He does have that 1 Colossus. That's not taking part in this fight. There we go. We have the overcharge. Biles, they're going to be connecting. But good force fields here out of herO. He lures in the army, and he shuts this down. Cleans up the Roaches. There just are not enough Hydras behind this. Infestation is now on the way. There's no Lurkers. Oh. Biles will connect. But herO, he's on the chase. Does force back the army. 5th Nexus on the way here. Dark's still on 4 bases, by the way. Dark's still in a 3-base economy. Despite having 4 bases, he's not fully saturated. He hasn't been fully saturated. Dark in a lot of trouble. He's maxed out. Okay, so both players are at 200 supply, but I would say that herO has a more efficient army. He has a much more efficient army. Dark mainly relying on Roaches, very supply heavy. Here we go, we're pushing in. The Immortal's going ham, the Colossi as well. We have Oracle support if need be. The Lings are melting, the Roaches as well. Dark trying to come in from multiple angles. He comes in from the left-hand side. Comes in from the south, but he gets completely shut down. Again, herO's army snowballs out of control. GG gets called. And herO will eliminate Dark from Masters Coliseum. GG, well played. herO does it. I was expecting an ace match, not gonna lie. After what was happening, after Dark was fighting back, I was like, yo, are we getting into an ace match? After Dark deflected the initial Zealot push as well, things weren't looking too bad. But remember, Dark did lose his 4th, and Dark was forced all in. And Dark never droned up past 64. Dark, he never had a good economy in this game. He was very committed, very all in. And even as the game was getting a little bit longer, like he was still in a very low worker count, very low base count as well. And towards the end, even... Oh, we get some content. Shout out to SE boy. Oh, we had some ducks. Oh, that's XY. It's XY on the right hand side. That's Maxed on the next to him. We have our host, then we have Xiaose, and we have F91. But what I was gonna say, as I'm caught off guard. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. But when it came to that last game again, Dark was very all in, and he was just being outscaled there. He was so committed to his aggression, and he was being deflected time and time again. herO snowballed out of control towards the end. All right, I was about to say, even though both armies were maxed, even though both armies were at 200 supply, one is not quite like the other. The supply does sometimes lie here, and Dark, you know, he had an inefficient army with mainly roaches. He didn't have a hive, no infestation, no economy, no lurkers. Roach Hydra just could not stand up to that army. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be passing it over here to the SC Boy team. For those who don't know who these people are, they are Chinese casters and players, and they are the organizers of this event, of World Team League, of Mass Coliseum, and of Kung Fu Cup. So they have some content. I guess they're playing like a card game. I don't know. There's no English subs, unfortunately, but we have some time here to recover, to rest up, and to get ready for the next series. Congratulations to herO. My condolences to Dark. I'll leave you guys with SC Boy. We'll see you guys soon after the break.